Okay, hey YuGiTubers, this is Jordan from TeamATYP. I'm here with Fox. We're going to do a deck profile on my Infernities. It's not a usual build, it's a little different, so just bear with me. Alright, so we're going to start off creature lineup. I run 2 Veilers. I still think it's a pretty good anti-meta card. It really, throws people for a loop, So, I run 2 Tour Guides. I really don't run the Sanguine. I find that I really don't need him as much in the Infernities. I usually just go for a Necromancer instead. I run 2 Infernity Avengers. 1 doesn't seem to be enough for me. Plus, I can use him a little more for other purposes. Later on I'll tell you all about it in another video. I run 2 Infernity Mirage. 3's way too many, 1's not enough, 2's just right. Okay, I run 3 Necromancer. He's literally the engine, or half the engine for this deck. You just can't play without him. The unusual thing that I play that other Infernities don't is I run 3 Guardians. He tends to kind of help me stall out if I kind of draw into a bad hand, so he's also good fodder because he's still level 4, which means I can still go in for level 8s with Necromancer and the Avenger. And finally, for creatures, I run 3 Infernity Archfiends. 3 is perfect. He's a good beater. Every time he's special summoned, you get his effect to get an Infernity card, and I put emphasis on card from your deck to your hand.
Alright.
Okay, that's it for creatures. Now, on to spells. I run 1 Foolish Burial because it's perfect for graveyard setup. Send an Avenger, an Archfiend, anything that I need in the grave, get it there.
Alright.
Okay, 1 for 1. This is literally starts off so many plays. Like if I have 2 monsters in hand, and one's the Mirage, I can ditch the other one, special the Mirage from the hand, and go off on a combo. I play 1 Allure, Darkness. This actually helps me out a lot. Like if I get a really, sucky hand, gives me that draw power, and I usually just banish a Guardian because I usually end up drawing 1. I run 1 Book of Moon. It stops pretty much anything and everything. 1 Launcher. I wish we could have more because this card is ridiculously broken. 1 Dark Hole. 1 Monster Reborn. 1 Heavy Storm. And I run 2 MST. I don't really need anything else as far as like MST or control, because I have other cards to take care of that. Let's see, let's go on to traps. Starlight Road, Infernities are big for having back rows. This makes sure I keep my back rows. Trap Stun, again, that keeps me from, losing out on a lot. Keeps my opponents from roll decrees and everything for at least a turn. It saves my guys for a turn. Right now I only run 1 Torrential. 2 seems to be overkill for any deck nowadays. So I just run 1. 1 Call of the Haunted, mainly because to get back Necromancer so I can special, or get back Archfiend and get his effect off and get an Infernity card from deck to hand. I won 1 Bottomless. I don't really see maining more than 1 because I don't ever come across problems where I need more than 1. For now, until the reprint of Barrier, I'm running Karma Cuts. It keeps my hand empty, and really, it banishes a monster and every copy of it from the grave. So it really hurts a lot of people, especially Light Swarms and Blind Ups and just about every other deck right now in meta. Okay. I run 2 Infernity Break. The reason being is because if I play an Infernity Break and I banish a Mirage or another Infernity monster, usually my Guardian, that's fine and dandy, and then I'll go get another one. The best thing is, I can banish the other break that I played and uses it all over again, so that's why I run 2. I run 2 Mirror Force. I don't have to usually resort to using both of them, but it's nice to have that insurance. Usually when I go into a second match, I sometimes side out 1. And finally, I run 2 Compulsory. Again, this is another one where I really need only 1, but the second one is insurance, and again, second match, I usually side 1 out.
Alright. So you're only going to run 2 barriers in your final build? Or?
I'm only going to run 2. I feel like 3 would be overkill. I don't see me running into so much trouble where I need all 3 of the barriers. So, I mean, I'm still going to side a third one for just in case situations.
Alright. Well, on to the extra deck then.
Okay, extra deck. Zinmains, he's, you know, extra deck staple.
Pretty much nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much. I actually run a Chronomaly Crystal Chrononaut. Usually I'll have a back row set because, you know, Infernities are back row heavy, and I'll pull him out, and usually people will try and take out my back row, and usually that's what I want. Then they'll try and ram into him, and I'll use effect, attach, and take their monster down to 0, so. My stroke, because it's a rank 4, you know, Zinmain's pretty much. I get 2 turns of it not being destroyed, or 3, depending on how, you know, how it's played. And then it's a Book of Moon on top of that, so I really can't beat that. Yeah, I still run a Utopia because, you know, there's always going to be an issue here or there where I'm going to have to stop an attack once or twice.
Alright.
I also run Gymnite Pearl because he's one of the few, like, creatures that's not affected by skill drain. And skill drain heroes and skill drain variants seem to be pretty big here and there. So he's always my answer to those. On the synchros, I will plan to run a Catastor when I get one, but until then, I run a Gaia Knight for my 6-star.
Catastor's 5-star.
Yeah, and the Catastor's 5-star, but until then, I've got nothing.
Alright.
So, I got my 6-star Gaia Knight. 7, Chaos King Archfiend. He's an underplayed synchro, and I think he deserves more recognition. When I declare an attack with him, he switches the attack and defense of all face-up monsters your opponent controls. I mean, that's just, it's just mean, and I love it. I run 200 Eyes Dragon, simply because I like to fill my field, and usually if I have 2 Necromancer in the grave, I use him to gain Mirage effect and bring back my Mancers and start the cycle all over. Basically, if it's played right, you can get an extra creature out of where you would normally only get 1 Synchro monster. This way you get a Synchro monster and another creature.
Alright.
I run 2 Void Ogres. This is one of the variants of Infernities you see a lot of, is the Void Ogre loop. I tend to actually, you know, use this loop a lot, because with an Infernity player, you tend to keep your hand as empty as possible, and with their effects, it's a match made in heaven. As long as you have no cards in your hand, during either player's turn, once per turn, you can, you know, negate the activation of a spell or trap. So you get 2 of these out on the field, which, if played right, you can have this done in 1 turn. And, you know, negate some during their turn, during your turn, or negate both during their turn or both during your turn. I only run 1 Infernity Doom Dragon. He's pretty much my answer to creatures like Marshmallow, Spirit Reaper. My girlfriend plays Gustos, so that's my answer for Freeze. Anything that can't be destroyed by the battle, I usually use Doom Dragon, because destroys them, and then they lose half of the attacking of the monster's attack to their life points. So Of course, Scrap Dragon, again, staple in most, extra decks nowadays. And, of course, Stardust, because I run Starlight Road, and I obviously Synchro Summon for 8 very well.
You only got 14 in the extra?
I've only got 14 in the extra, because I'm saving that one spot for Cataster. Okay, well, I guess, go ahead and onto my side deck. My side deck's kind of small right now because I'm still, I'm testing a few things before I finalize it, so. Got a Smashing Ground because, if I'm playing a deck where I know they get big hitters that I can't overpower, Smashing Ground will take care of it. I have 1 Prohibition right now. I plan on running 2, only because who doesn't love running a Prohibition? Just, say, I don't like this card, it can't be played. Everybody wants that power. I side another Trap Stun, depending on if I face another player that runs a heavy back row, because I know what they're going to most likely have, because I pretty much run the same thing. Another Starlight Road, for that extra back row protection, in case I'm running against Light Sworns. They have Lilas, MSTs, and Raikou, so they like to destroy a lot of stuff. Another Torrential, which, like I said, I usually don't have to add this in. This is just a, just in case, cover my own butt kind of deal. A Bottomless Trap Hole, again, if I'm facing a deck that has a lot of heavy hitters, I usually add that into the side. Fiendish Chain, I usually run this for Light Sworns or other creatures, like Atlanteans seem to be really fed up with Fiendish Chains, so I usually tend to side that in against those decks specifically. Otherwise, I tend not to use it.
Only 1 Fiendish Chain?
Only 1, usually because they'll try and get rid of the Fiendish Chain as quickly as possible, and I want them to waste that MST on that rather than, my better traps.
Alright.
Dimensional Prison, again, against, like, brutes, and I like to just take out the brutes, so,
alright.
Enough said. I run 2 Cloak and Daggers.
Very undervalued card, underplayed card.
Yes, unbelievably undervalued and underplayed. It's a continuous trap. You declare 1 monster name. If that monster is normal summon, flip summon, special summon, you automatically remove it and Cloak and Dagger from play.
So, let's say a wind-up player goes to summon Shark. Can you activate this?
Yes, you can activate this in response, and because of chain resolution, you get to name the creature, and then they both get banished.
Alright, so I don't see why these wouldn't be put in more side decks then.
I'm looking to see more people start running it after a while, when they start reading the card. I only run 1 Infernity Inferno in my side, because I tend not to need it as much. I tend to keep my hand fairly empty, because I know, I know the mechanics of my deck very well, so I know how to play everything to get it out of my hand. But this is just in case, like, some opponents will see I have Infernities and they'll try and make me draw cards. Therefore, I'll side in the Infernity Inferno to make me discard extra cards. That and the Karma Cuts go really well, in keeping my hand empty. My last card in the side, like I said, this is a small side, is a Sangan. The Sangan, of course, searches out just about every card in my deck except for Infernity Archfiend. So, I mean, again, great search utility, but I don't need it as much with the support I have, so until I actually need that extra search, he stays on the side.
Alright. Sounds good. Is there any cards that you're trying you would add in if you have them, or?
Definitely Cataster, because Cataster is pretty much an answer to every deck out there, except for maybe Dark Worlds and other Infernity players. Let's see. I suppose that a good card to side trap-wise Horn of Black Heaven. A lot of people don't, realize that card's potential. With so much special summoning going on in today's meta, it's a free negate special summon.
Alright. Okay then.
Right.
Well, this is Team 1000 Years of Pain signing off. Look out for the deck discussion.
Yeah.
Please comment, rate, subscribe.
See ya.